Okay, then the next is a preprocessors. CSS preprocessors make it easy to automate repetitive tasks, reduce the number of errors, can create a reusable code snippets, and can ensure the backward compatibility also. So we are going to see the SCSS preprocessor. This preprocessor provides nesting, so you can use nested syntaxes. This allows us to use variables to avoid repeating values. This will allow us to use a mixins. Mixin can accept parameters and return the CSS. Then we have extend feature. This will avoid the repeating the same style again and again. Then we have create partials and use in other CSS files. So this way we can enable the modularization. Then we can use a standard math operator like plus, minus, multiplication, and for division we'll use the math.div function, and the percentage by using used sas colon math directive. Okay, so how to use a variables? So we'll declare a variable by using this dollar sign. Dollar primary dash color will be some value, and the variable we are going to use as a color value in a body selector, as we see here. Then we have nested rules, as we can declare the CSS for UL element which is inside of the nav, and we'll write the CSS as we see here. We'll write the nav selector, and in that again we'll add UL selector, and in that we will add the bunch of CSS. This will only apply to the UL which is under the nav element. Then using the partials, we'll create a partial, means we'll create a CSS file by starting underscore. This is called partials in CSS, and then we can use it using the use directive in our different CSS files. Then mixins. So to creating mixin with a default value, we use the @mixin directive. So we can create it with default value, or we will sometimes we just want to define some properties. We don't want some value to pass to mixin. So this is just plain mixin named ABC, and we have this theme mixin which is taking some argument, and also it has some default value. As we see here, we have created this background, and we are using this theme variable which is passed from other locations. Then we have this box shadow and the colors. We have used this theme variable in two properties. And how to use this mixin, as we see here in alert, we have used theme mixin using @include rule. So as we see here, so use mixin using @include directive can include the plain mixin like this, and if we want some values to be passed to the mixin, then we will use as a function and will pass the variable. So this is the way to how to pass the variable to a mixin or a functions. Okay, then we have inheritance using @extend rule and the percentage sign. We see here we have created some base CSS. As we see here, percentage message dash shared. We have this border, padding, and color, and in a message we'll just extending this message shared. In this way we can achieve the inheritance in a CSS. So this message dot message rule is extending the inheriting this all properties to the message. Okay, so and if we haven't extend this percent message shared CSS, then this will not generated in our CSS file. Okay, then we have operators. To enable the math operation, we use use SAS maths, and for using the division we use math.division, and we can divide the pixel, point and other measurements, and then we are multiplying it to the 100%. So in this way we can use math operation in SCSS. Then we have each loop. As we see here, we are loop through all the prefixes. In this way the syntax is each prefix in a prefixes, so this will give the one by one prefix, and we can create the variables. So use that prefix in the syntax, that hash and the curly brackets, and we are passing the variable. In this way we can concat the dynamic values and generate the variables. Yeah. So as we see here, we have generated different vendor prefix properties. As we see here, we are including this prefix mixin, and we are passing the filter property, so we are generating the filter property and different prefixes added to that, and we are passing the value, and we are passing prefixes. So here in prefixes, first we will collect the mods and WebKit, and one by one it will give to the prefixes. So first it will create dash mods dash filter, and the value will be grayscale 1. Then the second time it will create for WebKit, and last we have just created one filter property and assigning the value. So in this way this will reduce our efforts to generate vendor prefix properties. See here. Then in SCSS they have provided us support for conditional operators like if else. Then they have provided us loops for each. We have used this each loop here. They have provided the while loop also.